like to use a lot of our own examples, but we like to use WACB members. So if there's anyone here from any of these destinations, raise your hand so we can say you have some best practices that we're going to show up here today. So there really are a lot of good examples out there. One thing I want to say about all of this stuff, that really, and Paul touched on this, about the role of the DMOs. This is changing, okay? And we have to stay relevant, we have to stay current for our industry and for our destinations. I travel all over the country. We have clients in about 43 different states, and everywhere that I go, tourism is either number one, number two, or number three. But like Tanya Armenta said yesterday, often our communities don't get it, and then our job is really to get it out to travelers. So there's a whole big thing that we have to do. And so you go down through all of the stuff we have to do. When you look at it, you are the curators of all things good about your destination. Okay, you are your brand evangelists, and you are your storytellers for your destination. So how do you tell your story, okay? We all know that word of mouth is the best form of advertising. Even though I like to sell a lot of advertising to people, it's how do you get word of mouth, And since the time of cavemen, people have been telling stories, right? And they tell stories to share things. Sometimes it goes from generation to generation. So we're going to go after how do you tell your stories. Brett and I've got a lot of good examples in today's multi-platform, multimedia world. So the way we talk about it is you see this CMDS, that's a content management distribution system. So that's a content management distribution system. So we look at it as a content hub, and out of that content hub, and this is a concept, you're going to see this graphic come up a lot. So, hopefully it'll start sinking in. Just think of it conceptually now. But you have your visitors guides, your e-newsletters, your blogs, your social media, your apps. You also have, what are your destination drivers? Is it arts and culture? Is it food and wine? Is it whatever, multicultural travel? So you want to also, you need to have topical experts, you have to brand evangelists, and you want friends out there. So utilizing all this, this is part of your content hub and how you get it. So we're going to go through this in a number of things. So we do have a little audience survey we want to ask here. So how many of you have in-house staff for content creation and distribution? Good. Okay, like Facebook or Twitter or any of that, or even your visitor guides and getting that all together. How many of you are getting your visitor guide at no cost? Because that's a changing thing. Again, we've been doing print and visitor guides for a long time, but the advertising support is dwindling. And so it's a changing landscape there. Great. Okay, back to the content hub. For us,